Hi, my apology. This is going to be a continuation, a part 2 of Judiyah32's YouTube video entitled My DNA Results. As I indicated in the first part, the end part of part 1, Judiyah32 indicated that section D as in David of DNA tribes indicates that that section represents the larger the number of people who share that DNA means that it's the most recent, and that any other matches for section D as in David, the smaller ones represent a more ancient DNA. But as we see, that section D as in David has nothing to do with how old the migration was, okay? So again, for section D, for those people who did not see, who want as reference, this is section D of DNA tribes, okay? So let me see if I can get it bigger. Let me see. Okay. This is, just want to make sure I get everything again so that you can use it as a reference. So it represents the Part D world region marker, okay? Okay. So just for your reference, so when you look at this video, you can put it on pause so you can read again what Part D as in David represents, okay? And it indicates that section D, the highest score indicates your primary geographical affiliation. And it seems like with the person who did the YouTube video, Judiyah32, she doesn't want to be associated with being from West Africa, even though it's indicating that is such, okay? So with the video, what I want to indicate is what the next thing that she does is that she's going to link with section D, the findings, and she's going to connect the dots, so to speak, and that's with this section here. Wait, I'm going to blow up the screen. Okay, let me show you now. Sorry for the going back and forth. See, I don't know how to do all those fancy YouTube things and edit. So, okay, see here on this map here of Africa, and you see the lines. What this YouTuber did was like what you saw before, the big circle in West Africa. Okay, that would have been, okay, right here. Okay, she starts it as a starting point, and she's going to, according to her, go back in time. So she's saying that from West Africa, she came from the Sahelian, that's up here, okay, and then she was down here. So she's deciding this for herself because in the DNA findings, she indicates that like when you go down the, what do you call it? When you go back in time. I'm sorry. Let me show you something else. Let me see. Okay, this one here. See that picture? See, what you really can't see in this picture are the other little dots that are in Africa. And you see the little graph below that, the little green horizontal lines? These are countries or regions in Africa where she has a match for Part D as in David, which is your high resolution world region match results, okay? This result is just indicating, considering all the migrations that has been done for thousands of years in this continent, but it's taking a considering all that movement where she has DNA matches, it does not indicate that those DNA matches are certain ages. It doesn't give the age, but it's considering all the thousands of years of mixing or whatever. That's all that Section D is considering. There's no time frame. It's not saying how old the DNA is. And the highest one again is West Africa. Then there's Sahelian, which is number 2, and so on. So what she did here, which is in the little green bars on the bottom that you really can't really see. It's too small. But she takes her own initiative to convince you that because something has a less number of people that she matches, that means that it has to be more ancient. Okay, so the largest circle is where they're currently living, and then prior to that, they were somewhere else, and so on and so on. And so she takes those numbers that she has the least number of people, and she says, okay, that's where they migrated from, So she backtracks. She's taken her own initiative to suggest that. But DNA Tribes, the company, does not indicate that's how it's supposed to be represented. The data is reflecting. It's not reflecting that. But she is going to do, what she did, follow the dots. Okay, like she did here, what I already showed you before. Okay, she wants to match the dots, follow the dots and create a picture. Okay, so that's what happened there. Okay, the last part of this video I want to do, let's see. Okay, that was 17. Okay, that's position 1727. Let me go back. Okay, she's going to
mainly Nigeria.
Okay.
That's the migration of my ancestors from the Middle East and into Africa, later to become victims of the transatlantic slave trade. I wanted to make certain I've interpreted my results correctly, so I contacted an analyst from DNAtribes.com, and he confirmed my results, saying to me that my results express DNA matches most recently found in the tropical west of Africa, but that my DNA also traces back to, quote-unquote, the Middle Eastern portion of the world.
Okay.
So many people...
Okay. She just was deceptive again. Okay. Now, she just said... Okay, that was position, 1740, ended on 1748 section of her video. Okay. She's saying... Let me see here. I'm trying to find... I wrote notes. I apologize for not being more direct. Let's see. They did not say. Okay. Okay. So the people that she contacted, they did not say that it was a time frame. The only thing that they said that was a confirmation was that she has a DNA match. That's all. But she wants you to think. She doesn't really want you to listen what she's saying. She said, oh yeah, they confirmed. The only thing they confirmed was that she had DNA match in West Africa, and that there were DNA matches in that Middle East area. That's all. They did not confirm, yes, 5,000, 4,000, whatever, years ago, that's where you originated from. Okay? So she's being deceptive there. She doesn't want you to really listen what she just said. Okay? So I don't respect her findings with that. Okay? You can't force someone to say something that doesn't say. And she wants you to think, not really listen, that she she's not going back there, you know, tracing back umpteen thousand years ago. Okay, and then the last part, let's see. Section 1837, she talks about how, let's see, the Hebrew Israelite movement, you know, some American blacks, or blacks in the Americas, that they don't want to say that they're from that part of the Middle East. They feel that they're African until that you find proof. So this YouTuber is trying to push this information as proof that all of us are from the Middle East. And so this is what this, you know, that's what she's talking about here. I'm going to play it now. Let's see. 1830. Okay, I'm going to start here.
Of us descending from slavery. We were not initially Christians, but Torah keepers.
Let me back up a little bit more.
But I've been met with some who... Many have said that the so-called African Americans actually have Hebrew roots stemming from out of the Middle East, and base that not only on historical documentation, but also on the rituals and culture of many of us descending from slavery. We were not initially Christians, but Torah keepers. But I've been met with some who say we're African, and until you can prove it with DNA, that's what we'll be.
Okay.
So here you go. My personal DNA proof that my ancestors
still are in the
populations of the Middle East.
Okay.
And I'm not a diamond in the rough here. You saw the map of my DNA matching throughout the South, where many of my people dwelled. We were all in this together, meaning your DNA is likely to look a lot like mine if you get it tested. So we're not just merely West Africans. We have a long, long history before that. And I encourage you all to consider getting your own DNA tested and trace your ancestors.
Okay. So, her own DNA findings indicate that her primary affiliation is West African. Okay? So any black person that's watching her video, Judiyah32, would indicate that if they had any common sense, they would see, hey, we're West African. And I'm sure they know how to read, and they'll indicate, they'll show that position, section D's and David from DNA tribes would indicate that it had nothing to do with the time frame, and that at least that individual's DNA is primarily West Africa and Nigeria, and she wants to disassociate her affiliation from where her bulk is. It's overwhelmingly Nigerian. And again, people do migrate, but the migration, you know, anybody can move any different location, you know, but the bulk where she is from is Nigeria, West Africa, and there are some matches in other locations. You did have the other slave trade that took Africans and moved them up north to the Arab world. That is true. But she's saying it's the reverse, that they came from up there and moved downward and last settled into West Africa, and then from West Africa to the Americas. Okay, so, you know, when I looked at her video, I was very emotional, very upset, because I felt it was being not genuine research and twisting facts. And you're from where you're from. You know, there's no good or bad place. You know, you are who you are, and to embrace it. Embrace whether you're from Nigeria or from Angola or whatever, or you're Native American. It doesn't matter, you know. But it does matter, you know, if you have a belief system, a religious tradition, then accept that, you know, take it, you know. But don't make something say something that it doesn't, and wanting to convince other black people that you're from a particular location that clearly indicates, you know, who you really are. you know? So I think I took this emotionally because I was interested for a time, the Hebrew Israelites movement. And I'm searching. I'm searching for my roots. And that's also why I did do a DNA check for myself, you know. You always should start with yourself, what you have. And just like as this person, whatever what it has, accept it, So she should be proud of her DNA being from that country. Nigeria has a lot of doctors. They have scientists that come from there, and they move to the Americas, and a lot of them have good jobs. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. But to try to convince someone that you have a heritage that it doesn't say, that's all I'm saying. So I just want her to be, be more genuine with her research. So again, I'm not trying to slam dunk, but I am emotional about it because I'm searching for my identity as well. But I don't want to accept something that's not true, and go by what it says. So that's all I want to say. So I appreciate your comments or concerns with what I have to say, and thank you. Bye-bye.